third on his last run and caught my eye. Looks a picture, doesn't he? All the Robinson horses at the moment are to pick up. That's Cool Sun.
6-1 Mr. Gossip, 7 Ever Hopeful, 8 Buckskin's Best and Willsford. And at Sandown, the Martin Pipe bandwagon rolling on with Corporal Klinger, the winner of the Mecca Bookmakers Handicap, and the 22 runners under starters orders here being called in, and they're away. And away to a very smart start was Finn Guest from Record Run as they jumped the first of the 12 flights in all. Finn Guest from Record Run and Miss Nero, Record Flight I should say, and Miss Nero, and then Montgomery right up there with them. The back marker at the moment is Camrise. Finn Guest setting a really good pace from Montgomery. Nero and Record Flight as they're right out over on the far side, and a long run to the second of the 12 flights. Finn Guest a long way clear of Montgomery, Record Flight, Miss Nero, Ever Hopeful. Behind Ever Hopeful is Auction Folly. Behind Auction Folly is Alpha Random, then making a little bit of ground towards the outside is Sea Pennant. But Finn Guest with the advantage from Record Flight, who has 11 pound overweight, no less. Montgomery towards the outside. Miss Nero right up with them. Over the second, Finn Guest lands in the lead. Record Flight right up with them. Prince Klenk is also quite prominent with Miss Nero. Finn Guest over the third from Prince Klenk, who's now second. Record Flight, Miss Nero over on the far side, Ever Hopeful just in behind him. Also in the change of colours, Mesiara well there towards the near side, Montgomery. Finn Guest with the advantage as they come to the fifth from Prince Klenk. Sea Pennant's well up there also. And Miss Nero and Ever Hopeful, Record Flight. Montgomery on the near side, Mr. Gossip well in touch. Camrise still the back marker. Finn Guest from Prince Klenk, a course winner. Miss Nero on the inside, Record Flight. Then behind them Sea Pennant, just on the outside of Sea Pennant, Montgomery. On the inside, Ever Hopeful. Behind them come John Feather. Auction Folly has lost a bit of ground, racing uphill now to set out on their final circuit. Finn Guest from Prince Klenk, Miss Nero, Sea Pennant and Montgomery, and Record Flight and Ever Hopeful. And Mr. Gossip making ground on the outside, but on the inside, out of the gap, Auction Folly has dropped back last now. Finn Guest from Prince Klenk and Miss Nero, Auction Flight, Sea Pennant and Ever Hopeful, and Montgomery and Mr. Gossip on the inside out of the gap. Then Hope Diamond over the sixth, then Mesiara. Finn Guest lands in the lead from Miss Nero and Prince Klenk and Record Flight and Ever Hopeful and Sea Pennant and Montgomery. Mr. Gossip making his way towards the outside of the field. Towards the near side, Willsford is making quite good progress. Finn Guest landed in the lead though from Miss Nero. Mr. Gossip still making progress towards the outside. Prince Klenk still holding his place. Ever Hopeful going well on the inside. Out of the gap not far behind him, then Sea Pennant and Hope Diamond. They've got 4 left to jump, and Miss Nero, the top weight, has taken it up now in this rapid Raceline hurdle. Miss Nero towards the right of the picture, Prince Klenk, and then towards the far left, Mr. Gossip. On the inside, Finn Guest, being followed by Ever Hopeful. Then out of the gap, and then Sea Pennant, who's not far behind him. Hope Diamond is making good progress. Miss Nero, though, with the advantage. From Finn Guest in second, Sea Pennant, Mr. Gossip, Buckskin's Best also making ground. Miss Nero from Mr. Gossip, Buckskin's Best in the sheepskin noseband, Sea Pennant, then comes Ever Hopeful, then Prince Klenk, Miss Nero, Buckskin's Best, and Mr. Gossip. It's Mr. Gossip towards the far left as we see them, Buckskin's Best in the sheepskin noseband, Miss Nero over on the far side, Ever Hopeful and Prince Klenk between horses as they come down to the fourth from home. Mr. Gossip on the near side with Buckskin's Best, the horse who landed a gamble at the last meeting, in the sheepskin noseband in the centre of the track. Over on the far side, Miss Nero. Under the stands rails, 3 out is Mr. Gossip. 3 from home this. Mr. Gossip on the near side, Buckskin's Best, Ever Hopeful very much in contention, and over on the far side, Miss Nero, as they run down to the second last in this rapid Raceline hurdle. Mr. Gossip on the near side lands just in the lead from Buckskin's Best, then comes Ever Hopeful. There's very little between them now. Buckskin's Best in the sheepskin noseband in the centre, Mr. Gossip on the near side, Ever Hopeful on the far side. This is the final flight now. There's very little between these 3. Buckskin's Best, Mr. Gossip on the near side. Mr. Gossip runs just in the lead from Buckskin's Best. Ever Hopeful over on the far side. Buckskin's Best on the far side. Mr. Gossip on the near side. Ever Hopeful over on the far side. Buckskin's Best just asserting himself now is Mr. Gossip. Mr. Gossip asserts himself just to beat Buckskin's Best second, and third, Ever Hopeful. Mr. Gossip the winner. Buckskin's Best second. Ever Hopeful third. Prince Klenk came next, followed by Miss Nero and Cool Run, and then came Garrison, Savannah, and behind Garrison, Savannah was out of the gap, and then Hope Down.